Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's Bizzy. Here we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to It's Bizzy. It is episode 583. I want to start off by telling you guys this. This is all my opinion and my opinion only. And my opinion comes from being a certified health and wellness coach, a certified recovery coach, a life coach, and living with alcoholism pretty much my entire life. And so I have the book smarts, and more importantly, I've lived through a lot of addiction, fortunately or unfortunately. In fact, I don't even remember a time in my life that I didn't know the word alcoholic. The family is totally the missing link. Everybody talks about the addict, but what about the family? The people that live with the addict, what about them? We don't talk about them very much. Is that because of the shame that's associated with it? Is it because of just what alcoholism is? It's a shameful thing, right? And nobody wants to say that their loved one is dealing with alcoholism or drug addiction. And so you, as the family, go, wait a minute. Oh my gosh. What am I going to do? Where am I going to find resources for myself? How am I going to get better? Because I feel like I'm dealing and living in complete and utter insanity. I feel totally overwhelmed. I don't know what to do. I'm lost. I can't find any help anywhere. It's completely chaotic, and you don't have any relief. You're all alone. You feel like, where am I going to get help? I'm going crazy. It's too much. How the addict affects everyone. It leaves sadness. It leaves remorse. It leads to divorce. I can tell you that I was listening to 2 podcasts today, and on both the podcasts, the person mentioned, let's pray for the alcoholic and the alcoholic's family. I've lived with 2 husbands with addiction. I grew up in a family with addiction all around me. As a family member, I want to share that with you. I'm going to do a 5-part series. So 5 weeks of talking about the family. This is the first week, and we are going to talk about the unseen victims, you guys, the family members, and you're living in the shadows of the addict. And as I just mentioned, when the addict is active, there's so much chaos. It's just overwhelming. It's like the person that is the addict takes over the entire family. Everybody's worried about the addict. Now, the kid that's in the house that's getting great grades and doing everything they're supposed to do kind of is left in the corner, right? Because they're not on fire. All we pay attention to is the one that's on fire, the addict. And you don't know how to fix it. You don't know what to do. And you love them so much. And you don't know what to do. What am I supposed to do? I see this person I love, and I'm watching them disintegrate, and I don't know what to do. How can I change it? How can I cure it? You didn't cause it. But you don't believe that. It's my fault that this person is an addict. And at some point we have to go, time out. It's not me. I didn't cause it. I didn't cause it. Every family out there has addiction somewhere in it. I can tell you that. And you're going to be like, no, I don't know that there is anybody. Well, I'm sure there's a cousin, an uncle from decades ago that had this disease. And it was passed down, just like the color of their eyes. They didn't pick it. You didn't pick it. But they have it. And what do you do once the addict is in their addiction? What are you going to do? You can't fix them. You can sit there all day long and you can try and fix them, and you can send them to treatment. And I want to talk about treatment. And this is, again, my opinion and my opinion only. Well, the sad thing that we all don't know is that, for one, you will spend more time researching a car, researching what house you're going to buy. You're going to spend way more time on that than you will on a treatment center. You're going to be so frustrated at some point. You're going to go and you're going to type in, is my child an alcoholic? You're going to get an ad. This is the treatment center to go to. You need to go there. But what they forget to tell you is that when you have addiction, it isn't like breaking an arm or even cancer for that matter, or diabetes. When you have an addiction, that's about your head. In the insurance world, it falls under mental health. So your person that's an addict is using alcohol or drugs to stop what's going on in their head. It's just what they reach for. All these things that are going on in my head, I want it to stop. So how can I get it to stop? I'm going to pick up a drink, which is going to numb everything out, and I'm not going to feel anything. Same thing with drugs and weed. It just numbs everything out, right? You get to this place like, I don't have any problems anymore. I just ingested something. Everything's okay. Everything's okay. But it's not really okay. Because everybody in the family is like, for one, why aren't you going to school? Why aren't you going to work? Why aren't you paying your bills? Why is all your money gone? Where did your money go? And the problem is when you have addiction, people aren't coming over and consoling you. They aren't saying, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What can I do to help? Maybe they are, but it's not like they're going to bring you a casserole. You send your loved one to treatment. All you're getting for 28 days is a good night's rest. That's it. Because your loved one is being detoxed, okay? They maybe are getting some 12-step meetings, maybe getting some yoga, maybe getting some talk therapy, but that's about it. That's why in other places in the world, you go to treatment for 90 days. But here in the United States, you might get 14 days, you might get 7 days, you might get 28 days. It's very expensive. You've just paid this money because you want your person to get better. But the truth is, your person is not going to get better in 28 days. They get detoxed and they might look better and sound better, but it takes a long, long time. It takes what it takes. And the family, when the addict is gone, is kind of like, okay, it's like missing the chaos. Like, where's the drama? You go through a phase for those 28 days. Like, how are they doing? And they don't have to talk to you, or they do have to talk to you. They have to sign a release, and maybe they'll sign a release that they're going to let you know what's going on, and they might not sign a release. So either A, you know what's going on because the therapist calls you and keeps you involved, or B, you have no idea what's going on, but your loved one is locked up for 28 days. That's all you know. And a lot of places, a lot of treatment centers don't have any resources for the family. They will tell you, go to an Al-Anon meeting. It takes a lot of time. You getting better and realizing that you didn't cause it, you can't change it, and you can't cure it, takes time. And finding the right person that you feel comfortable with is really, really hard. I will tell you that. And I will tell you, for your loved one, it is very hard. Now, if you are from a family that's, let's say, affluent, and you go and you send your loved one to a 12-step meeting. Now, by the way, when they get out of their treatment center, they're going to be expected to go to 12-step meetings. They're going to say, now go to 12-step meetings. It will help you. Today, it's not being pushed so much because of the whole God thing, because, God's now bad now that we live in 2025. But you guys know that if you're listening to this, you probably believe in God. So knowing that you have to go to a 12-step meeting is so important, and realizing that you have to go and take what you need and leave the rest. In the beginning, you're not going to feel comfortable, and you are definitely not going to feel like you're going to share with these people. It's just the truth. And it's the family member, again, the person comes home, they've been gone for how many days, and now they say to you, I'm going to go to a meeting. And you're going to be like, okay, what does that mean? So now you're going to go to a meeting which is going to take at least 2 hours a day. And you're like, what? 2 hours a day? The meeting's 1 hour. You're supposed to arrive there early and start talking to people. And then you stay later so you can continue talking to people. So understanding that your loved one that has this addiction and is going to these 12-step meetings is not avoiding you. It's not about you. It's about them. If they want to get better, they've got to continue going to these meetings. And you're going to be like, for how long? For the rest of their lives. I still go to 2 meetings a week. I have 19 years of sobriety. I still go to 2 meetings a week. And why is that? You think, why does she still go? Because we all have born forgetters. We forget where our disease will take us as the addict. As the loved one, you're going, wait a minute, I don't want you to be gone for 2 hours. You've already been gone for 28 days. I want you to come back better. I don't want this anymore. I've already been dealing with this. Can't you just be better? And the reality is, no. I'm sorry. There's no magic wand. There's no magic pill. Addiction stays forever. The mental illness stays forever. I think you need to get a therapist for once a week if you can afford it. But if you can go to a 12-step meeting, it's free. It's $1. Now with inflation, they say, can you leave $2? But you are going to have to know as the family, like, this is not about me. This is about them. They have to go for 2 hours a day. Now, you might be saying, well, wait a minute, then they're going to get better, right? No, the odds are not good of some person staying sober. Okay? It's just not. You might as well go to Vegas, and when you bet on the Super Bowl, you've got a 50-50 chance, right? Of who's going to win. With addiction, the odds are not good. They're just not. Because the family doesn't understand this disease. The thinking is askewed in the addict. My thinking was askewed. I wanted escapism. I didn't want to have to feel. If I felt too many feelings, I would break into a million pieces. And reaching for help, not really what I wanted to do. But I had to. I needed to find friends. I needed to find friends that were like-minded. I couldn't do it on my own, hanging out with the people that I was hanging out with. Nobody I hung out with was sober. Now, did I go there to live? No. I think some people have to do that. For me, I went, I got what I needed, and went and lived my life. But a lot of people need to stay there. Your loved one might need to go continually, and you might have to get involved in that. You might have to participate in Al-Anon, and he or she does the 12-step. And you might have to come together on that commonality. You might have to find all new couple friends. And you're like, well, I don't want to find new friends. Well, you might not be able to go to cocktail parties or go to the country club anymore. Because your loved one that's trying to get better needs a while, like at least a year, maybe longer, to get comfortable with who they are, what they like, getting used to not drinking in situations which they used to always drink. Golfing's a huge drinking thing. And if you're a big golfer and you've decided to get sober, now what are you going to do? Can you go be playing golf with the same guys you played with? Because that's what you guys all in common, so you guys all like to drink the same. No, you can't. No, sorry. You have to find new friends. There's sober golf leagues, you guys. Did you know that? There is. There's now bars all over the country that don't have alcohol. They serve only mocktails. You're going to have to change it up. You're going to have to do different things for your loved one. Just because they went to treatment for 28 days, 30 days, 90 days, does not mean that they are cured. Everything has to change. You, as the family of the addict, has to change. You have no other options. You can't go to how you were living before when the person comes back. Everything has to change. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, I've already changed it. I threw away all the alcohol. Or you said, you know what? I didn't throw away the alcohol because I want to still have my friends over and have drinks. But guess what? Not in the beginning. You can't have that. Nope. You can't have alcohol in your house. Because you know what? The loved one is going to sit here and say, it's fine. It's fine. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. But the reality is at some point it will bother them when they're having a bad day. One bad day. And you might think a bad day has to be a car crash, getting fired from your job. A bad day could be somebody looking at you strangely. It could be somebody coming up to that person at a meeting and they said something cruel to them. That could take you down a rabbit hole as fast as anything. And nothing majorly changes in 1 year. And I mean, like your home. That's not that's a big thing, right? You can't say, "Oh, now I'm going to get divorced. Now I'm going to do this. Now I'm going to do that." No, you have to stay with it for a year. Just a year. And realize that your person has this disease, that everything has to kind of change. Again, not your house, but who you associate with, what you talk to them about, being a little kinder, using kid gloves, those white kid gloves that they had back in the, 70s and 60s, being a little softer. Yes, I know as the family member, you're so angry and you're so just like, why is this happening to me? Because God knows you can handle it. And you are not alone. I have to tell you that you are not alone. But knowing what you're going to do and how you're going to do it is what's important. Realizing that your loved one is taking their 2 hours a day to go to a 12-step meeting gives you the opportunity to do something for you for those 2 hours. Rather than trying to fix the addict, because you can't fix them. They can only fix themselves, okay? With God. And I truly believe it's God 110%. You have to have a spiritual awakening. And you might say, what is that? We don't go to church. I don't even know what you're talking about. And what I'm talking about is alcohol used to be called a spirit. I think they're still in Pennsylvania called the spirit store. The spirit store is that alcohol is a spirit because it changes you. It changes your soul. It changes everything. Your life is no longer looking out through clear glasses once you drink. Your life is like looking out of like a stained glass window that's filled with soot. That is how the addict is. And as a family member of that addict, you are also looking through things going, are they really going to stay sober? Are they really going to walk into the house and be loving and kind? Or what am I going to get? Am I going to get Jekyll or am I going to get Hyde? So how are you going to change? How? What are you going to do? Get your own therapist. Get your own coach. Take some time to maybe listen to podcasts. Find your idea of God. Do you find God in a church, in a synagogue, in a mosque? Where do you find God for you? In the outdoors. But realizing we have to put the oxygen mask on ourselves too. When we have a child going through this, it is so difficult. I've watched it so many times. Now, I'm going to tell you, with my kids, they have 2 alcoholic parents, just the reality. And alcoholism isn't all in our trees. If you go and you shake our trees in our family on all different sides, they rattle with vodka bottles. So what did I say to my kids? I had to tell my kids from day one, you drink, you have to know that you have a better chance than not of becoming a pickle. And once you're a pickle, you can't be a cucumber. So what I mean by that is letting your kids know, like we have addiction in our family. Just so you know, the minute you drink, it touches your lips. There's a light bulb that goes off in your head. Let's call it a Christmas tree. And that's going to go off. And then once you go there enough times, it's going to be over. You're not going to have a choice anymore. But communicating what is going on. It's so hard to talk about this disease because, again, it has so much shame associated with it. But you didn't cause it. You can't change it and you can't cure it. But what you can do is talk about it and be honest about it. You don't need to stick your head in the sand like an ostrich. You need to take the steps that you need to take for you and your family. And that means when this whirling dervish of a person has gone to treatment, take care of you. And that doesn't mean going to the gym, you guys. We all focus on the outside stuff, getting fillers, getting our lips, go down the litany of things you can do on the outside. It means getting okay on the inside. Recognize what you've been feeling. Looking in the mirror going, why? Maybe crying and letting go. And say, you know what? I'm going to learn as much as I can about this disease. I can't sit here delusionally thinking I'm going to lock my loved one up and they're going to be better and I don't have to do anything. Because that's not going to help your loved one. Again, in the treatment centers, I've noticed that, especially here, they say it's people, places, and things. So you go to treatment and you should stay where your treatment center is. Now, this is my opinion only. I think that that's an idealistic way, and I'm doing air quotes if you're listening, to say, oh, they're going to stay here wherever their treatment center is. And I'm speaking South Florida right now. And you're going to stay there. And how are you going to live? How is the person going to learn new tools if their family isn't here? Are we supposed to separate the family? Families don't matter anymore. The addict's going to stay here and you're going to stay there. And we're not going to only on maybe holidays or when the people say, yes, they can come home for a couple of days. Is that it? Or is there another option? I'm going to talk about that more next week. I will tell you, I'm going to end with this. I remember when I was first getting sober and somebody in my family I worried about. And I was so mad. I was so angry. I just wanted to do something to them. I was like, oh. And a wise person said to me, you need to pray for them. And that was the last thing I wanted to do. And you might not be a prayer. But what you can say is, God, please watch over this person. God, please take care of them and change me. And I'm going to tell you, not on my time frame did that person change, but on God's time, it did. He did. He worked his action. God did and helped this person. And this person is now in long-term recovery. Did I ever think that saying that little couple words each day, God, please watch over them and change me? Did I think it was going to work? I had no idea, but I was desperate. And sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures. But know this, you are not alone. I want you to have a voice as the family. I don't want you to be ashamed because nothing happens when we're feeling ashamed. Nothing. But feeling more and more alone. Come back again. We're going to have 4 more segments on this. If you have any thoughts, any questions, please reach out to me at elizabeth@elizabethchance.com. That's with a Z. If you're watching this somewhere, please subscribe. And if you could give me a rating, that would mean the world to me. And please subscribe. Again, please subscribe. Please like and share with your friends. And again, I want you to know you're not alone. Take care, everybody. And I'll be back on Thursday with the guest. And then next Tuesday with my second part of this segment on the family. So take care, everybody. Thanks for listening, and please subscribe wherever you're listening to this podcast, or if you're watching me on YouTube, press subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great day.